Alright, this is Danhausen here, very nice for evil. You are watching True Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
Hey guys, this is Thunder Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat. Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance on True Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the wrath. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some wrath in the show. So let me know. Hello, I'm Willow Nightingale, and though I might generally be regarded as a very bubbly, upbeat person, you're watching True Heel Heat.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3, and we are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for our ROH Final Battle 2025 preview. Breaking down the card for this Friday's show from Columbus, Ohio. It is at GalaxyCon, the final Ring of Honor pay-per-view event of the calendar year, and it is the final battle for Ring of Honor, their biggest show of the year. And to break it all down, I am riding solo. It is just you, I, the great people here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. It is just I here to discuss the Ring of Honor event coming up this coming Friday, December 5th. Ring of Honor Final Battle, one of my favorite shows of the year traditionally when I was just a Ring of Honor fan. And during the heyday of Ring of Honor, my first ever Ring of Honor event was Final Battle 2006, where I saw Homicide defeat my favorite wrestler of all time, Bryan Danielson, for the Ring of Honor World Championship. So this is an event that I always love to discuss and preview and review when the show is over as well. So be on the lookout for that. But we appreciate y'all for joining us live for the preview Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand as well. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on the video. Let's help out the YouTube algorithm, everyone. Help us out so much. It helps out other wrestling fans like yourself see these kinds of video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. Hear your thoughts on this Friday show, Ring of Honor Final Battle 2025. Let us know what you think about the current state of Ring of Honor, as we always do. As we always do with these previews before the big shows, because Ring of Honor, for better or worse, it's a pay-per-view kind of. The only time that they really show effort is when it is pay-per-view time. It's kind of like, I want to say 2014, 2015 NXT, because I thought NXT's television did get better as it goes along, or some people think it got worse as it goes along. But I think like 2014, 2015, like the TV show was kind of missable, but the takeovers you were always there for, and the takeovers were always enjoyable. I think Ring of Honor has gotten to that path, but they don't have like the streamline of just decent television. Like NXT, even when it didn't really care about the TV shows and only cared about the takeovers, more often than not, you're getting like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 show. Ring of Honor needs to get to that point. We're at like a 4 out of 10 type of show. So let us know what you think about the current state of Ring of Honor and what you're feeling about Ring of Honor Final Battle 2025. Of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, you can do so with a super chat donation. If you're watching us on demand, you could comment down below and keep the conversation going and give your predictions for ROH Final Battle. These are going to be my predictions, my thoughts on the matches for this Friday, but these are not the thoughts. These are not everyone's thoughts. Let us know what you think. If you think differently, like what you like, just don't be a dick in the live chat or in the comment section. But we got a couple of people already with us in the live chat here. Zach Minger, who says, National Make a Gift Day, SP3 and Kimmy. Shout outs to Kimmy Sokol, who was supposed to be joining me for the preview. Unfortunately, she got called into work at the last minute, so she wasn't able to join me today, but we'll definitely try to have Kimmy on for another Ring of Honor event in the future, because if you know Kimmy, she is a huge Ring of Honor fan. So shout outs to Kimmy for sure. We got Bonkers in the chat who says, be watching Final Resolution on Friday as well as SmackDown. That is not the flex you think it is, sir. Good Doer says, wish the old ROH still existed. After watching the ROH TV special on YouTube, it's no wonder why it doesn't have a TV deal. I'm an AEW fan, but under TK, ROH has lost its soul. Come on, TK. Like I was told back at like, I think it was like All Out 2023 weekend. This was just over 1 year into the whole Ring of Honor experiment under Tony Khan. And even then, I saw the signs that he doesn't really care about Ring of Honor all that much. Like, I really feel, to me personally, all of his love, care, and focus on Ring of Honor television and building up Ring of Honor and making Ring of Honor into a valuable brand that could eventually get a streaming deal, that could eventually get a TV rights deal. It all evaporated and it all passed away with Jay Briscoe. I feel like Ring of Honor was his way to finally book the Briscoes. And we got a pretty good year in 2022 because it was mostly just the pay-per-views. There wasn't any weekly television. But the fact that Jay Briscoe passing away in January of 2023 coincide with 1 month later the start of Ring of Honor television as a weekly thing, he had a nice run the first couple of months on Honor Club in 2023 when they were in Universal Studios. That's the one thing that they have to do to improve their television. They have to go to a stationary place and tape a whole bunch of television And whether that's booking an extra day on a week where you got AEW Dynamite and Collision in one place, or you got a show on Wednesday and you got a show on Saturday and you got to book another show on Thursday to basically tape Ring of Honor. That is what you're going to have to do if you actually are serious about making this promotion, this brand, into something that is going to get a weekly television deal on whatever it is, streaming service, on cable television, on network television. Definitely not going to be on network television. No one's going to waste their time with this. But cable television and streaming services are looking for live formatted, live first run formatted television every single week, and especially something that is akin to live sports like professional wrestling. But Ring of Honor is this soulless series of squash matches and obvious winners that it is not watchable. It is not watchable every week. I heard about the special that they had on Tuesday this week, and you know what I did? I saw it on my YouTube feed, my YouTube timeline, and I just scrolled right past it. And I said, I will get to it when I get to it. I'll get to it before Saturday because I have to watch it before the flagship podcast. That's about it. This is, ROH has become something that I feel like I'm obligated to watch because none of y'all are going to watch it. So you might as well have someone who watches it and can tell you what happened. And that's my lot in life. My lot in life is to watch the wrestling that no one else will watch. I hope you appreciate my sacrifice. But yes, I agree with a bunch of what you said in the chat. Good doer. We got Short King the Goat who says ROH needs a legit streaming deal. And like I said, it's a process that takes actually taking this brand and this company seriously, which I haven't seen from Tony Khan yet. But one of the first steps would be finding a place where you can film a whole bunch of television, whether that's local, like in Jacksonville at Daly's place. Like they just pick, it can even be something where once to twice a month, they just go to Daly's place. He brings a whole bunch of wrestlers there. They film a whole month of television for Ring of Honor and call it a day. Call it a day. But that will go a long way to improving how this show looks when you're able to just focus on that. It being the dark matches, the matches before the actual show, before an episode of Collision, before an episode of Dynamite, it does not make you feel like you need to even watch this show. It feels lifeless. Fans are not into the action. They're not into the people. I want more from Ring of Honor. I miss my old Ring of Honor, and I want them to get a semblance of an identity. That's what I really want them to do. Good Doer says, with NXT to CW and now TNA to AMC, curious to know what TK's thoughts are. I mean, that's a good question. If he's doing, I think he might be doing a conference call this week ahead of the Ring of Honor event, or if not, they'll do a post-show presser after ROH Final Battle. That is an excellent question for Tony Khan. What are your thoughts on the fact that TNA got to AMC? You've been telling us about Ring of Honor trying to get a TV deal for the better part of 2 years. How do you feel about TNA pulling out a TV deal before you were able to for ROH? Carlos Silva can negotiate a TV deal for TNA. I'm sorry, Tony Khan. With what AEW was able to accomplish, what AEW was able to do, if you even cared about Ring of Honor slightly, I think you could get them an identity, get them a scheduled taping format where they'll be able to tape their shows separately away from AEW. And you can actually give them a roster of talent, because you have so much talent on your roster that you don't use weekly on AEW television that you can make up a whole Ring of Honor brand with those wrestlers. These are all the steps he needs to take to actually, being in line to make negotiations with a cable network, a streaming service, to get a deal for Ring of Honor. These are all the steps that it takes, because these are most of the things that TNA has already done. TNA their identity is that they are the fourth brand of WWE. They got a whole bunch of former WWE stars. They got a WWE partnership. But at least they have their individual stars as well. They got the Mike Santanas, they got the Frankie Kazarians, they got the Mooses. They have stars that you know for TNA. There are no one outside of Athena that you know for Ring of Honor. And the fact that Athena's been stuck in Ring of Honor for 3 years as the champion going on this show, it marks 3 years since her title win. Everybody wants her to be on AEW at this point. We're just ready for you to finish up this story, get to the point. Get to the point. Athena loses to Billy Starks, or Athena loses to Persephone. Whatever the point is, you need to get to it. So there's no one really that we want to see identified as ROH. That's also an issue. Short King the Goat says, I was thinking about Paramount Plus, like it was on MTV, possibly work like WWE did with Sunday Night Heat. Curious your thoughts. Paramount Plus is a good idea. Good premise. Paramount Plus has been one of the names discussed to potentially purchase Warner Brothers Discovery. It depends on what Paramount Plus is looking for. If they're looking for first run live sports content, there are other places for them. Ring of Honor. So I think, like I said, Short King the Goat, there are steps that Tony Khan has to take with Ring of Honor before I can like seriously even think about a place like Paramount Plus even coming to them or even speaking to them about potentially bringing ROH on. ROH has to identity. ROH needs stars that are identifiable for that company, for that brand. ROH needs a lot of things before they even are. You can even like seriously think about them going to a streaming service that's as big as Paramount Plus, honestly. But that's more of the general discussion. Keep going with those comments, like the conversation we got going so far, and you can keep it going in the comments down below if you're watching us on demand. But we're gonna get into the card for ROH Final Battle 2025 this Friday. As always, with our pay-per-view previews from 0 to 10, I will give my anticipation level for ROH Final Battle. It is at a 7. 7, I think it's pretty decent, pretty solid. I would say it's at a 7 because, like I said at the top of the show, Ring of Honor pay-per-view events are hits. They are always must-watch because you know you're going to get good to great wrestling up and down the card. And I think the card that they have assembled for this Friday is going to have plenty of great matches and plenty of matches that I am very much looking forward to seeing. The reason why it's not higher than a 7 is because not much of this card was actually built on the television heading into the event and were more than likely just announced on the Black Friday special or put together over the last couple of weeks. So not much build to give you that much more anticipation, but for the card that is given as at this moment, at the time of this video, yeah, it's a solid card, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. 6.5 to 7 out of 10. 6.5 would be like a thumbs in the middle. So yeah, I think it's like thumbs in the middle. 6.5 out of 10 seems more accurate. Let's get into these matches. First match up is not a title match. We thought that this was going to be for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Instead, it's going to be non-title. It's just to prove who is the better man between these two. It's going to be a rematch from Final Battle 2024. I was live there in Hammerstein Ballroom for their first meeting against each other. It's going to be Lee Moriarty going one-on-one with Nigel McGuinness. Back at Final Battle 2024, Lee Moriarty had an open challenge to any former ROH legend or great to face him for the Pure Championship. It was Nigel McGuinness on this night that accepted the challenge, and they put on one of the best matches of that entire show, with Lee Moriarty tapping out Nigel McGuinness to retain the Pure Championship. Back ahead of Forbidden Door, there was a 4-way technical spectacle that saw Nigel McGuinness pin Lee Moriarty to earn the opportunity to face Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in London, England. So these two men were 1-1, and then on the Black Friday special of ROH TV on Honor Club, it was Nigel McGuinness who challenged Lee Moriarty to a 30-minute Iron Man matchup. He called Lee Moriarty. He said he might be the greatest pure champion of all time, but I've proven that I can beat you, and I need to prove that I am the better man between us. So let's have a 30-minute Iron Man matchup. This should be, as far as like in-ring work, technical prowess, this should be the best match on the card. These are two technical geniuses in the ring, two mat specialists. They know their submission works, know their counter works, know the reversals, know the body movements. The feet work are great. This is going to be excellent, I think, bell to bell. In the end, though, because it's non-title, there is a chance that Nigel could win. I'm going to go with Lee Moriarty to win this matchup. The non-title of it all does make it possible Nigel can win, but I think the right decision is putting over Lee Moriarty. 2 years in a row, 2 big wins over a former Ring of Honor world champion. I think they've done a good job of kind of building up credibility for Lee Moriarty in ROH. Lee Moriarty is kind of a case of ROH doing what it does. It's giving a home to a young star who's not getting a lot of reps and a lot of time on AEW television. Lee Moriarty's been able to build up his name as the pure champion with this historic reign, the longest reigning pure champion of all time. So I want that to continue. I want him to build up more credibility heading into his big title match against Komander at the end of the year. So I'm going to go with Lee not to retain because it's not a title match, but to win the Iron Man match. I will say 3 wins to 1. 3 wins to 1. I think that it's going to come out with this Iron Man match here. Shout outs to Grabble Ab. Shout outs to the fellas. Shout outs to Benno, the homie. What's up to you, sir? Good to see you in the chat. We got my main man Kaza in the chat. Good to see you, Kaza. Always appreciate the support you give us and all your nice comments you've been giving me. I appreciate that, good brother. He says, are you doing a post show with Kate? At the moment, it is tentative. Kate is going to be in a wedding on Friday of her friend, not herself. Kate's going to be in a wedding. So right now, I'm not scheduled to do a post show with Kate. I have told Kate that I am down to do a post show. So if me or Kate is able to find a co-host for myself, then yes, we will be doing a post show on the Fightful main channel. But definitely here on True Hill Heat, you'll have a review of Final Battle over the weekend, if not the latest Monday. So you'll have my thoughts on the show for sure, Kaza. Good Doer says Zeta Steel debuted last night with a promo with Layla Gray. Have a feeling TK will throw her debut match on the card last minute. That's interesting. I wouldn't mind. That could be a pre-show matchup. You're absolutely right, Good Doer. I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right. Because we all know Tony Khan. He's gonna add like 4 pre-show matches at the last minute. Probably in one of his videos on Twitter where it's very close to his face and he's talking. That's probably how he's gonna announce Zeta Steel making her ROH debut against Layla Gray. Yeah, that's probably added to the card. If it is, I think Zeta Steel should win because I think Zeta Steel finally, after what has it been, 6 months since she left the company, I think Tony Khan found his Mariah May replacement because Zeta Steel has natural charisma. She's good on the mic. She's still a little bit green in the ring. She can get better in the ring, but that can happen if she gets reps through ROH and AEW. And I think the fact that she's starting off in ROH is a good sign that she's willing to earn her stripes before she gets a more prominent role with AEW or ROH. So I think this is a good move. This is probably the best acquisition that seems to be more directed towards ROH that we've seen in ever. Like, I think ever. And Zeta Steel is really good, but I think that Tony Khan doesn't really bring people in to just be in Ring of Honor. So of course, in the future, I think maybe if she develops more, she'll go on AEW television. But for now, I think she's good in ROH. Shout outs to the homie I Make Beats who says, "What's up, folks?" and YouTube Goat SP3. I'm trying to get to that GOAT status, sir. Trying to get there. Ring of Honor Final Battle 2025 will mark the first time ever, guys, that an AEW title will be up for grabs as Ricochet has I think it's only his third match this year in ROH. He's had a previous match in ROH, but he will be defending an AEW title for the first time in ROH as he defends his AEW National Championship against Dalton Castle. Of course, at Final Battle, Ricochet became the inaugural national champion, winning the Casino Gauntlet. From there, on this week's Collision, he set his sights on Dalton Castle and the Outrunners following their win over MXM TV. It was him and GOA who jumped Dalton and the Outrunners to set the course for this matchup here. Dalton picked up the win on the Tuesday special of ROH TV and set his sights on the national championship. And now he gets the first opportunity to take the title away from the inaugural champ. Love this graphic, by the way, because it looks like Dalton is tickling the chin of Ricochet. Let me know if you see it as well. But it looks like Dalton is trying to seduce Ricochet. I would honestly, someone should think about calling Samantha Irving, because we see how boys act around Dalton Castle. I don't know about you. I'm just going to keep the graphic up and just talk about the match. Ricochet should get the win here. This seems like a no-brainer. I think Ricochet and Dalton Castle should be a fun matchup. I can see Dalton tossing Ricochet around. Dalton is one of the more pound for pound, one of the strongest guys in all of ROH, AEW, whatever you want to call it. Dalton is so strong. He's got that amateur wrestling background, and he's so good in the ring when he actually puts his mind to it. And he's had a bunch of fun matches in the TK era of Ring of Honor as well. So this should be another one, but Ricochet with probably the Spirit Gun is going to retain the national championship. You see it, my mate Bees. He was seducing her. Ricochet, sorry. Good Doer says, hopefully after Moriarty wins, it's time to level him up at least to the ROH World title. Either Moriarty or Shane Taylor should get a shot at the Ring of Honor World Championship. And the fact that they're not in the main event, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Next up, speaking of which, for the ROH 6-man tag team championships, Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor and the Infantry, Carly Bravo and Sean Dean, will defend the ROH World 6-man tag team championships against Skyflight, Scorpio Sky, and Top Flight Darius and Dante Martin. Skyflight has been making a name for themselves and picking up wins on ROH TV as of late. They've had their series of encounters with Shane Taylor Promotions. Most recently, Shane Taylor Promotions jumping them after a trios victory. This set the course for a trios championship matchup at ROH Final Battle, where Skyflight will finally try to bring gold home to this new group. It was Scorpio Sky who returned to Ring of Honor as well as AEW a couple of months ago and formed this trio with Top Flight along with Layla Gray as well as Christopher Daniels. So can they finally bring home gold to their group? My answer is no. I'm going with Shane Taylor Promotions. And yes, this is a biased pick. The Infantry knows that I ride with them. I am STP affiliated. So I am going with STP to retain. I'm sorry, Skyfly fans. I'm sorry. Scorpio Skies won TNT championships. I remember the Laker color TNT title. That work of art right there. But you're not going to win this title. This title is for STP. STP. New title, new champion will be crowned at ROH Final Battle as the ROH Women's Pure Championship will be decided as we will have the finals of the Women's Pure Title Tournament. I have had many jokes about this Pure Women's Title Tournament, because it was announced, the title was introduced in April. This tournament started in like September, August, I think. Jesus Christ. This is Tony Khan, and his ability to not properly book women's tournaments has to be studied. He should have a seminar about it. He is quite talented at ruining the pacing and the overall booking of women's tournaments. I have to give him credit for that. Thursday on ROH TV on Honor Club, we will see the two semifinals matches that will determine who will be the two competitors that will compete at Final Battle on Friday. We got Deonna Purrazzo going one-on-one with Queen Aminata, and we got Billy Starks going one-on-one with Yuka Sakazaki. These four women all earned their spot. They all went through the quarterfinals to make their way to the semifinals. Sakazaki most recently beating Serena Deeb. I believe Billy Starks picked up a win against Olympia. Aminata, I believe it was against somebody. But yeah, this tournament has gone on way too long. I forgot who Aminata and beat because they were supposed to face like a long time ago. Oh, Trish, I know Purrazzo beat Trish Adora. She beat Trish Adora. I can't be asked to look up anything else. So that's what it was. Yeah, she beat Trish Adora because they did build up that matchup for weeks. This pure title tournament has been so poorly planned, so poorly placed. But I expect these two matches on Thursday to be really good. And I expect the final matchup to be really good. The fact that Billy Starks and Queen Aminata are in the semifinals and they were the finals of the ROH Women's TV title tournament makes me believe they're not going to make the finals here. So I will go with, let's go with Deonna Purrazzo versus, no, let's go with Deonna Purrazzo versus Billy Starks. Because they did build that up a little bit. They did give that a little bit of build where they had an interaction following a pair of Pure Rules matches a few weeks ago. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Billy Starks against Deonna Purrazzo in the finals. And then the winner and the first ever women's Pure Rules or Pure champion, it's got to be Deonna Purrazzo, man. You got to give Deonna something. Like, come on, Tony Khan. You have poorly booked her first 2 years in this company. At least give her something. Give her something to hang her hat on, man. Jesus. This has been so badly done. It's like Deonna Purrazzo came into this company as one of the best technical wrestlers, regardless of gender. She was one of the best women's wrestlers in the world coming off of her run in TNA. And he has totally shit the bed on her ever since he signed at the beginning of 2024. Let's end off 2025 on a good note, and let's give her the Pure Rules Championship. Let's see what the chat got to say. We got Ame Biz. It says the Skyflight Armin coming for SP3. I mean, they can come for me. I'm a part of STP. I got the infantry by my back. I'm good. Good Doer says Deonna gotta win. If she loses, I'm out. I mean, dude, me too. I'm out. I'm out on this whole entire women's pure championship. There ain't no reason to have a women's pure championship if it ain't gonna be Deonna Purrazzo as the first champion. The fuck are we doing? It should have either been Deonna Purrazzo or Serena Deeb. I love Queen Aminata. Don't get me wrong. Queen Aminata, I think in the future, she could be a pure champion. But I think honestly, Queen Aminata deserves a run with the ROH Women's World Championship. Shouldn't be wasting her time with the pure title. But Deonna Purrazzo needs something. Sheesh. Let's talk about more women's action as we're going to see the debut of the CEO. Mercedes Moné, as she defends one of her 13 titles, the ROH Women's World Television Championship, against the former champion, Red Velvet. Red Velvet had a lengthy reign as women's TV champion for ROH, winning the title, I believe, back at Death Before Dishonor last year, holding it for over a year, held it through her injury as Mina Shirakawa was named interim TV champion following a win and a four-way as Supercard of Honor before she lost it to Mercedes Moné at Wrestle Dream. And then on the Go Home show ahead of Full Gear, it was Mercedes who defeated Red Velvet to become the undisputed ROH Women's World Television Champion. And for the first time since signing with AEW in March of 2024, Mercedes Moné appears on a ROH pay-per-view and she defends her title here. I've saw a lot of polarizing thoughts when it came to their first match against each other. I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought Red Velvet looked good, and it was the first time that she wrestled in quite a number of months following her injury, and I thought she looked good in that matchup. I did hear some people that didn't enjoy the matchup, thought it was too clunky, didn't look that good. Some of the stuff looked a little bit off and stuff like that. I can understand both perspectives. I kind of could see it in the middle as well, but I like the matchup. I think this matchup will be even better because of the pay-per-view, because we're going to see the full matchup. And everyone knows Mercedes Moné steps up when the lights are on brightest. When it's a pay-per-view event, this is big match Mercedes, big match Moné. And I think she's going to step up here. And we're going to see Red Velvet's best match of her career, I think. I think Mercedes is going to blow expectations out the water and going to be so much better than she was in that first matchup. This match here, I think Mercedes and Okada are kind of the same mindset. If it's a TV matchup, they're not going to go to 10. They're not even going to go to fucking 8. They'll go to a 7 at max. And a 7 at max, sometimes a performer who's below them, who's not at their level, is not going to have the best matchup with them like that. So you'll have some people like Kyle Fletcher who could have a banger ass matchup with a 7 out of 10 Okada. Red Velvet, I don't think she's the type that can get that really good matchup that everybody enjoyed out of a 7 out of 10 Mercedes. And I don't think she even got a 7 out of 10 Mercedes, honestly. But I think that Mercedes will definitely be 8 out of 10 or better on Friday. So I think this is going to be good. Mercedes retains. For the ROH World Tag Team Championships, new champions will be crowned as ROH suffered a knee injury that has kept them sidelines. Thus, Sammy Guevara and ROH had to relinquish the titles. That was announced on last Thursday's ROH TV on Honor Club. Sammy then revealed that he will be going for his third different reign as ROH World Tag Team Champions in a row. This man has won the titles and then been stripped of them twice in a number of months. I think he's been stripped of the titles, won and stripped the titles twice in about 3 to 4 months. Him and Dustin Rose, the Sons of Texas, were tag team champions for over a fucking year, and I wanted that to end so badly. But I didn't expect it to end the way that it did, with Dustin Rose going out with injury. He had to get knee replacement surgery. Thus, Sammy Guevara and Dustin had to relinquish the tag team titles. Sammy would eventually turn heel by aligning with ROH to win the tag team titles, at Death Before Dishonor. But this reign did not last long at all, as they would be stripped of the titles, like I said, last Thursday on Honor Club. And Sammy revealed that the Beast Mortos will be his tag team partner, representing LFI, as they vie for Sammy's third straight ROH World Tag Team title run against Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington, and Adam Priest. Tommy Billington and Adam Priest have been a pair since they were put together in a tag team matchup against FTR that stole the show on an episode of Collision. Ever since then, they've been regularly featured on ROH TV, usually in 6-man tag team action with Jay Lethal, but now they get tag team action where they'll vie for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Most recently, they suffered a tag team loss against Shane Taylor Promotions after Jay Lethal gave an errant lethal ejection to Adam Priest. I expect Lethal to be in the corner of Priest and Billington here after him and Priest got back on the same page on Honor Club. But I do expect Lethal to have some type of involvement in the finish of this matchup, and I expect him to accidentally cost Billington and Priest these titles. I think LFI is going to still be the tag team champions. They're going to get their second straight reign for LFI, third straight reign for Sammy Guevara as ROH World Tag Team Champion. They just want to keep these tag team titles on Sammy Guevara forever, I guess. I don't get it either. I don't get it either. I Make Beats says TV Monet is like t-shirt Naito. You know what's coming. Absolutely. Good Doer says, do you think there's any plan for Mercedes with the titles? I think that there is a plan in place to do a downfall of Mercedes where she's going to do the losing streak and lose all her titles in like a matter of months where she loses each and every one of them. She's down in the dumps going into the new, I think the start of the new year is going to be that before eventually AEW signs Bayley. Bayley becomes her Apollo Creed and gets her to train up so she can reach the mountaintop. She wins the back-to-back Owen Hart Cups and then wins the AEW Women's World Championship at next year's All In as a babyface. I mean, that's how I would book it, but I think that is genuinely the direction that they're going with Mercedes. That's the arc that they're going on. The Bayley stuff, I'm just being hopeful. I just hope Bayley is smart enough to just leave. Because every time, I don't know if y'all saw that Undertaker interview, every time this woman is asked about getting pulled from WrestleMania, it looks like she's going to cry. It looks like she's going to cry because the place that she has put her heart and soul into did not appreciate and respect her hard work and determination and dedication to that company enough to put her on WrestleMania. Disgusting. I mean, B says, I love Monet, but she got to start the downfall. Losing streak will be monumental. I agree. I mean, B says, I vote Priest and Billington. Interesting. Good Doer says, LFI wins again. Mortos deserves some love. Yeah, you're right. That's going to be Mortos' first real championship gold since signing with AEW and ROH. Seems about right. Robert says they should just give the ROH titles to the mommy guys that look like Hulk Hogan. You're talking about Outrunners, the Outrunners, sir. Outrunners. And I Make Beats says, yes, SP3, someone give this man the pencil. I'm waiting. I will write Ring of Honor. Tony Khan don't want to do it. I'll do it. I'll do Ring of Honor. I'll write Ring of Honor. I got plenty of ideas for Ring of Honor. Got plenty of ideas to improve it. Plenty of ideas of people I want to use. People on the independent scene I want to sign up. Lena Cross, LeBron Cronin. Psst, give me those guys. Give me Darius Carter. Give me Darius Carter and Darius Lockhart. I'll be cooking on ROH. Give me Calvin Takeman. I'll be cooking on ROH. Give me the Workhorsemen. The Workhorsemen should be used more. Tommy Billington, Adam Priest. Adam Priest, one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. He has not been showcased in that way. I could just take up ROH right after Final Battle and know what I'm gonna do. And I will get people to watch ROH because I will be focused. There will be intricate storylines being placed. There'll be more highlights and spotlight on your Athenas, on your Billy Starks, on your SCP, Lee Moriarty. Give me the ball. Give me the ball, please. The Swirl as well. Swirl would get the push to the moon. Another person who is always pushed to the moon in ROH, Athena. She will defend the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Persephone. If Athena is able to win, it will mark 3 years of her Ring of Honor Forever Women's Championship reign. Persephone has been one of the hottest female stars in all of wrestling, really raising her stock and climbing the ladder over in CMLL. She won the Women's Grand Prix, the 20-woman Cybernetico matchup, pinning Tekla at the end to win that. She had that epic showdown with Mercedes Moné at the all-women's event for CMLL, sold out Arena Mexico in the main event, had the match of her lifetime against the CEO. And now she's been in ROH for the last couple of months. Back at Global Wars Mexico, it was Persephone and Thunder Rosa who picked up a victory over Athena and Diamante in tag team action. And now months later, Persephone gets to come through and get an opportunity to get another win over Athena. And this time she can end the historic reign of the forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Athena's reign is well over 1,000 days at this point. I think she's closing in on 1,200 days heading into 2026. Persephone feels like the biggest threat that she's had in quite some time, probably since last year's final battle where she defeated Billy Starks for the second year in a row. I think that this match is going to be so much better than that match. I felt like that match disappointed in comparison to Billy versus Athena back at Final Battle 2023. The 2024 version just fell a little bit short, and most of that was due to the fact that Billy should have won. Billy should have won at Hammerstein Ballroom, and Athena's reign should be over by now. But it's hit historic proportions. There's no doubt about it. Over 1,000 days, the record for most title defenses of any reign in Ring of Honor history. She's the greatest Ring of Honor champion of all time. So you could say, you could wrap it up here and Persephone wins, and we could see Persephone more often in the United States. I think Persephone is someone that is bona fide, is able to be a star. Like, she's just got a cool look to her. She's so athletic, but she's also hard hitting. She's got a taller size to her, the wide hips. She looks good in the ring. She looks good out of the ring. I think Persephone has a bright future ahead of her. She should be the woman that's going to dethrone Mercedes for the CMLL Women's World Championship. That's mainly the reason why I don't think she's going to dethrone Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. I think that this is being set aside for Billy. When that's going to happen, God, I don't know. I want to know. I want to know when this whole thing is going to end, because Athena should be on AEW television. Athena should be an AEW Women's World Champion by now. This historic reign has done so much to her star power, to her legacy, 1,000%. But Athena is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And when you have that under contract, you need to feature her on your biggest shows possible to make that women's division the best that it possibly can be. And we saw when Athena was in the summer, after she won the Casino Gauntlet and feuded with Timeless Toni Storm, she fit effortlessly in the formula of AEW, in the women's scene. She added a lot in that program with Toni Storm, but we only got this much. And then it was all gone after that. So I want more for Athena. I want this reign to end. It's just not going to end against Persephone. I got Athena retaining at Final Battle. Got a couple of comments. The future here. We got McBeastie says, how would SP3 critique his own booking? Would be interesting post shows. I mean, that would be cool. That would actually be cool if I was the booker and also did a post show where I get to critique my own stuff and praise it as well. Like, whoever came up with that idea must have been a genius. Like, that guy is an idiot. It definitely wasn't me. And it was. Power Finisher says Athena forever. Good Doer says Athena will win, but I hope I'm wrong. A shock win would be dope for her. It'll just be nice for Athena to move on. Her mission has been accomplished. What is TK waiting for? A TV deal? A TV deal definitely ain't gonna be because of Athena. It's gotta be because Tony Khan actually gives a fuck about this place, which he hasn't in a very long time. Power Finisher says it shouldn't end, in my opinion. People just saying Billy should dethrone her and that ship has sailed. They don't even watch ROH, and that's the only thing they know. They ask for good stories and pitch BX like that. I think that it is going to be Billy. I thought it was going to be Billy last year at Final Battle. I think it's still going to be Billy. He just doesn't know how to actually do this, because if it was going to be Billy, it needed to be last year. Whether it's Billy next year at Final Battle or next year at Supercard of Honor, or if they do it on a random episode of television, it's going to feel too late. I do agree with you in saying that the ship has sailed, but I don't think the ship has sailed to Tony Khan. Make Beat says, I felt like Athena was meant to be on ROH forever ago. Yeah, she should have been. But I have no doubt, I think Athena and Persephone is going to be one of the best matches on this entire show. However, I don't think it's going to be the very best on this entire show because that's reserved for our main event. For the Ring of Honor World Championship, Survival of the Fittest returns. Bandido defends against LFI's Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos, Komander, the Don Callis families, Hechicero, and Vanilla Baby, Blake Christian. All of these men have had some sort of connection to the ROH or ROH World Champion Bandido over the last couple of months, whether it be the fact that Bandido was originally scheduled to defend the ROH World Championship against the leader of LFI, ROH, which led to Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos replacing him in the Survival of the Fittest matchup. Bandido and Hechicero had one of the best matches of the year at Death Before Dishonor for the ROH World Championship, and then ran it back in a splendid sequel in Arena Mexico for CMLL. Komander has been one of the best luchadors who's been featured on ROH for the last couple of years. He's a former ROH TV champion, actually winning Survival of the Fittest last year at Final Battle, where he went down to the final two with the last member of this matchup, Blake Christian, who has been an absolute thorn in the side of Bandido for months, dating back to the tapings in Philadelphia back in the fall. Blake Christian and Lee Johnson of the Swirl have been attacking Bandido and sending a message that Blake Christian was coming for the ROH World Championship. So this is going to be the biggest test, the toughest test of Bandido's reign. And it really feels like Bandido is not going to walk out Ring of Honor World Champion. Bandido is a guy who has been able to be at the top of ROH, but also be a consistently featured act on AEW television due to his partnership with Brody King in Brodito, the former AEW World Tag Team Champions. So it is great that we've been able to see so much of Bandido on AEW, CMLL, and ROH as well. It just feels like the fact that they're giving him 5 challengers in replacement to a singles match, it should tell you that this is their way to protect him because he's not walking out as the champion. Now, the question is who's going to win it. I don't think LFI, the Sammy Guevara, would probably be, if I'm just looking at this on paper, not knowing the storylines, Sammy Guevara is the biggest name outside of the challengers, so he would be considered a favorite. I don't think it's going to be Sammy or Beast Mortos because I expect them to win the tag team titles earlier in the show. That brings us to Komander, who had a fantastic match with Mascara Dorada a couple of weeks ago in Arena Mexico. I just recently watched that, so expect that to be part of my matches of the week on on True Heel Heat this week. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be talking about one of the best high-flying matches out there. So I expect him to create magic with Bandido in this matchup. I don't expect him to win the matchup, though. So it comes down to Hechicero and Blake Christian. I'm going to go with Blake Christian. I don't know. There's something about Blake Christian right now. The fact that Tony Khan and him are sending teases that he might be getting Vanilla Baby, Loving on Me by Jack Carlo. I mean, Hechicero is a good shout as well because he's with the Don Callis family, and the Don Callis family loves bringing in more gold, and they might be losing some gold if Kazuchika Okada or Kyle Fletcher or Konosuke Takeshita don't win the Continental Classic. So you can easily see them replacing that gold with the Ring of Honor World Championship. I would love to go with Hechicero. Hechicero is one of my favorite wrestlers in the world, but I just have a feeling Vanilla Baby is going to walk out as the champion, probably with Loving on Me playing on the speakers. There's something there. Maybe it's my in the weeds. Maybe it's the in the weeds of it all is making me say that I just have a feeling Vanilla Baby is going to win the Ring of Honor World Championship. The bet that I would put money on though, Bandido ain't retaining. That's what I would put money on. I ain't going to put money on Blake Christian. I'll put money on Blake Christian and Hechicero. I'm not putting any money on Bandido. But that is my predictions for ROH Final Battle 2025. Let us know your predictions in the comments down below. Want to thank you all for joining us live. Final call for Super Chat donations if you want to show some love in that regards. I know there's been a lot of different news that's been breaking off that we haven't been able to touch on just yet. TNA Wrestling signing that big TV rights deal with AMC. We're going to have a short on that, talking about the press release revealed by TNA and thoughts from Chris G on the new TV deal for TNA. Very exciting news. Great for TNA and even better for professional wrestling overall, that more pro wrestling is going to be on cable television. So congratulations to TNA. CM Punk's dog, Larry, passed away. I wasn't able to mention that on yesterday's podcast. That was part of the reason why he probably didn't make it on Monday Night Raw last night as well. So, thoughts and prayers to CM Punk and AJ on the loss of pretty much what was a child to them, really. So, a lot of news for us to discuss coming up over the weekend on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some Survivor Series. We're going to talk about Final Battle. We're going to talk about NXT Deadline, as we got a preview for that coming up on Friday. Join us back here Friday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with our WWE NXT Deadline preview. I'll be joined by Shadi of the Wrestling Republic podcast, so join us for that. Check out what we already have on the channel right now, like our WWE Survivor Series War Games 2025 review with myself and True Draw Josh. We also had our Rated Raw review, episode 96, Judgment Day Lives, talking about this past Monday's edition of Monday Night Raw. Check out the flagship podcast, True Hill Heat 357, with myself, the True Draw Josh, Miss Chrissy Love, and special guest Lyric, talking all about the fallout from AEW Full Gear and gearing up for Survivor Series as well. We got a bunch of content dropping on the channel today. We had our conversation about, is Hangman Adam Page's AEW World Title reign too short? That's up on the channel right now for THH Hot Takes. We got a THH cut dropping later today to hype you up for AEW Dynamite, where we discuss WWE War Games versus AEW Blood and Guts. That was from our Survivor Series review. That's dropping on the channel today as well. Also dropping today, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The newest edition, the newest episode of GOAT Match Series, where me and Jimmy Macaram will rewatch Jimmy's favorite matchup of all time. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov from October 2020 NXT UK Championship matchup. One of the most violent matches ever. We rewatched that. That's going to drop on Patreon this week. It's the second to last episode of season 1 of GOAT Match Series. So go patreon.com/True Hill Heat if you want to watch the rest of the series, or hit the join button. And for $1 a month, become a member of the channel, and you got exclusive perks like seeing GOAT Match Series as well. I will be back with all of you tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with AE Ramble, reviewing tonight's AEW Dynamite, talking all about the Continental Classic, as well as Joe and Kingston going face-to-face on tonight's show. So hope you enjoyed Dynamite. Hope you enjoyed our preview here, and hope you enjoyed all the content we got dropping on True Hill Heat this week. Join me actually later today, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time, on our second channel, True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment, where we'll be reviewing Power Book 4, Force, Season 3, Episode 4. I knew 4 was coming somewhere. 4 for Force. Episode 4 of Season 3 with me and Miss Chrissy Love over on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment. And you also got 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time over there, True Picks, which are predictions for this week in the NFL. Whew. But that's everything to promote now. We are all done with the preview. Hope you all enjoy ROH Final Battle this Friday on Honor Club, or if you're live in Columbus, Ohio, or going to GalaxyCon, check it out live. It's going to be a great experience. But it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our ROH Final Battle 2025 preview. We are signing off until next time.